Greetings, Beth Warriors. Greetings. Greg is back. Back in the live stream. Hidden Light Studios. Ready to talk some life. Coming up on 13 years sober. 13 years sober, July 22nd. We are coming up on 13 years of sobriety. That means 13 years of no hangovers, no happy hours. Even though I've had lots of happy hours, but not the old kinds I used to. No more after hours, no more hangovers. And ultimately, no more having to make excuses for why I would do some of the things I would do. Not fully understanding that I needed to take responsibility for my life. I needed to face my pain. I needed to really sit in the pain. It's been the most transformational thing that I've experienced this last few weeks. I've had some of the most transformational experiences this past few weeks, and it's been all based on turning towards my pain, turning inwards towards my pain, which was really something I did 13 years ago when I hit rock bottom. And I said, all right, I got to get sober. It took a lot of courage. It took courage. Even as much pain as I was in, it took a lot of courage for me to say, you know what, I got to get sober, man. I can't keep doing this. I can't do this no more. I don't know how many more chances I got. You ever felt like that? Where you've already had a lot of chances to get it right. And you're just like, I don't know how many more chances I got. But it took me a lot of courage once I hit that rock bottom. Which that's all upper frequency, right? That's high vibe stuff. It's like courage and then a willingness. You have to have a willingness to make changes. That's what it took. 13 years. July 22nd, 13 years of sobriety. 0 alcohol for 13 years. And I had to have a willingness to really face myself and to say, man, I can't do this no more. I really can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to feel like this anymore. And I know there's a lot of people out there that you just caught up on it, right? The party everywhere you go. I'm an adult. I have the right to do it. And all that's true. You absolutely have a right to party. You have a right to do whatever you want to do with your time. I just know for me, that shit got so old. It got very old and I got very tired of it. And I caused myself a lot of heartache too, though. I mean, we're talking major life issues, you know, when you talk about getting into legal issues, multiple DWIs, domestic violence arrests. I mean, this was not fun stuff that I put myself through. I put myself through it. Ain't nobody put me through what I put myself through. And it's like alcohol was never the problem. I was the problem. I was the guy that basically got caught up. And I have no one to blame for that other than myself. Which is really the blessing in disguise, is when you take extreme ownership of the circumstances of your life, which a lot of people have problems doing, especially in such a victimized world where we all got to blame somebody for our problems. Someone needs to be blamed, and it can't be us. But when you get to a place where you do blame yourself, where you do, even if other people are involved, it's just like it's so empowering when you just say, you know what, like, it's everything in my life is my fault. Extreme ownership. Everything's my fault. Because when you can say that, then that means that you have total power to make whatever changes are necessary to improve your life, to change. to have that willingness to make the drastic changes that you will probably want to make when you're ready to make it. That's the thing. I know there's so many people out there that are ready, that are wanting to make changes, but I just think you just don't know how. You don't know how to just, like, what are you doing? Like, you're waiting for something, you're right. Maybe once the summer's over, maybe next year, the new year. And it's like, that's just the game. You've been playing that game for how many years now? That you have to wait for something to happen in order for you to start doing something different. And it's like, no, you don't. Right now is the time. If you're hearing this message, receive this message of change as a divine alignment. It's basically a message. It's a message from the divine world. You can call it God, you can call it Great Spirit. It's a message that now is the time. You don't need to wait for summer to end or for whatever it is that you're trying to tell yourself, some kind of time, right? It's like I was hearing somebody, he said, someday isn't a day of the week. I know about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and today, but I don't know about someday. When is someday? Someday I'll do it. Someday. The time should be now. The day should be today. I know that's what it takes, that shift. And I know there's so many people that are ready for that shift, but they're afraid. They're afraid because, and you should be afraid. Let's just be honest. To make a total life transformation, to turn your mess into a miracle, right? To turn your tragedies into transformation. It's what I did. It's not an easy task. There's nothing simple about it. There's nothing easy about it. But it's worth every second, every single day. It's always worth it. There's been times that you can sit there and look back and be like, or you don't even look back. It's just when you're in the middle of something, you're like, why am I doing this? It's really challenging. This is so fucking hard. And there's like no one here. Shit, there's no one even here to do it for me. Hold my hand, pat my bottom, rub my tummy. But when you get through it, and you know you did that shit with just pure guts, the tenacity within you, the willpower within you, that drive, that courage, then guess what? Nobody can take that from you. They'll try. People will try and take it from you because they'll look at it as like, it's not that big a deal. But man, when you sit in the fires, when you walk through the fires, ain't nobody can touch that. Nobody can touch what you become by sitting in your own fire. Because what does the fire do? It's refinement. You become refined in the fire. Versus being defined by your past mistakes, by the things that you feel ashamed of. When you sit in the fire, when you really just don't give yourself a way out, an easy way out, an escape, to just sit. It's been one of the most transformational lessons of my 13 years of sobriety, is really truly learning to turn in towards the discomfort, the pain within, which is really what? Emotional trauma. It's the emotional wounding, childhood. And yet it still surfaces today, right? Shit that happened to me when I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, is still surfacing. Those wounds are they still try and surface at 46 years young. I know I'm no different than most of you out there. But I know that before I got sober, I was doing everything I could to numb myself, even if subconsciously. I just didn't want to acknowledge my past. I didn't want to acknowledge the painful memories, the painful experiences. And in doing the self-medicating practices of overindulging on drink, smoke, food, and all kinds of other, they may have given me temporary relief, but they never made it go away. And many times my pain got even worse, right? The symptoms, the results of carrying around that pain deep inside of me, the results, it manifests itself. There's probably some of you that can sit here and actually stomach this medicine, right? You know that nothing's going away. It doesn't just disappear. We can temporarily escape it, but it never disappears. The emotional trauma can only be healed with intention. You have to literally go sit in the fire. You have to sit. You have to re-experience that pain in its full glory, the same exact pain, the same exact terror that you experienced whenever it happened in your childhood. It's like the same dosage of pain. It's still inside of you. You have it trapped in your body. And it doesn't just go away. And yet a lot of people have convinced themselves that somehow you're going to just go a whole life and just not pay attention to it. But then you're sitting there frustrated at a deeper level, trying to find the answers, trying to figure out like what's wrong with me? Why am I like this? And yet here's a guy like me saying, I figured it out in myself. Let me shine a light towards you to share some of that medicine with you, to help you, to show you that you can actually heal your pain, right? You don't need a quick fix, right? I can't just lead you in a prayer and voila, it's all gone. Everything's gone. You're redeemed. No more pain, no more suffering. No, that when we're talking about childhood trauma, emotional wounds from our childhood, right? It's etched. It's in there. And nothing that you say just makes it go away, because it's a program. Because the result of the pain, you create a subconscious program of survival and protection. And you have to undo all that. It's like you have to reverse all this. And there's no quick fix to it. There's no like quick and easy. But there is absolutely a way through it. I've experienced it. I've transformed myself. Complete transformation, 13 years. Now, is it going to take you 13 years to do the same? Maybe. If you want to take 13 years, right? If you want to just kind of really do the work and try all the things and see what sticks. But I know for me, I had a guiding light. My guiding light was my desire to say, more than anything else, I want to be able to trust myself. That was the number one thing, right? I wanted to trust myself in any and all situations. And what I've realized along 13 years is the part that I didn't trust was this subconscious version of myself that would get activated. A lot of us say triggered or buttons pushed in the past, but it's really an emotional activation to where you're in a situation where you feel a sense of fear, terror, sad, afraid. And a lot of people have a hard time admitting this stuff. But you then roll out a coping mechanism, which is like a program to keep yourself safe. And for me, I was usually over the top. Maybe I was just insulted, or maybe there was just a disagreement, and there was something. If I had the words, if I had the emotional intelligence, the emotional literacy that I now have, if I had this in my past, yes, I could have communicated in a very health, safe, and secure way. I could have communicated my way through potential misunderstandings, differences, conflicts, and that's what I'm able to do now. And it's very empowering. It's very empowering to have that kind of trust with myself, because in the past, this is 13 years ago, I didn't trust myself. I did not trust myself. And the saddest thing is the version of me that I didn't trust didn't give a shit if I hurt other people that I care about, whether it was emotionally or verbally or just however, man. It was like that version of me was so hell-bent on protecting the wounded side of myself. It's good to hear from you, bro. I hope that you guys are enjoying your trip. I hope that you're ready to rock and roll on some racing. And I'm just grateful to be back on here, man. I'm sneaking on here too. That makes two of us. I'm just sneaking on here too, bro. I'm just sneaking on myself. Sneaking on. I still have this message inside of me that needs to come out. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful that I've just continued relentlessly on this path. And what I've experienced in the past, it feels longer, but it's been 2 weeks. It's been the most wild thing. Those of you that are faithful, real just dialed into this message, which is not an easy message. I know there's a lot of people that wish that I would dial it down, lighten it up, make it more, palatable, right? Versus just real authentic talk. I've always been the guy that's going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. I know you want to hear that it's not all your fault. You're going to be okay. Just say these 3 things tonight, and you'll wake up tomorrow and all your dreams will be manifest. It's like, nah, man, that's not what's up. That's not how it works. I'm even hearing the titans. I'm hearing titans, men that I would consider titans of like success. It's like they're starting to crack because they've been so into business, go, 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 go. And it's like, health issue. Health issue happens to spouse. Health issue happens to them. You know what? I'm starting to meditate now. It's like, fuck it. It's funny to see how people that have been so one-dimensional, right? All about the business, all about the money, all about the relationship, all about the body. Do those things and your life is going to be perfect. No, it's not. It may improve aspects of your life, but when things get tough, those things are not going to bail you out of your capacity to be able to trust yourself emotionally, mentally, and emotionally, with having a connection with your spiritualism, the spirituality, this life force energy inside of you, the connection that you're not just a human, you are an eternal soul having a human experience. It all starts in the mind: mental, emotional, spiritual. You get those 3 things dialed in, the physical, you'll take care of yourself because you'll truly honor yourself. Something that I had to realize along my journey. And as you continue to just really redefine yourself, step into your true and authentic self, then the other things that are going to really spill into you is you're going to start to tap into new levels of creativity. You're going to be given new ideas. Maybe new ideas were really old ideas, but now you just have a bit more clarity and more confidence to say, you know what, I'm going to try this idea in terms of like a business, in terms of like doing a passion project that becomes like this great success. But I was afraid to do it in the past because why? I was wearing masks. I had the mask on. I had to pretend. I was pretending to be somebody that was accepted. I was pretending to be somebody. And we're all like that. We all wear masks. Everybody wears masks. What masks are you wearing right now? What masks do you need to wear, right, to get through a work day? What mask do you need to wear to, have a peaceful interaction with the loved one, family member, spouse? What mask do you need to wear in social circles, right? I used to be the master of masks. I had a mask for every occasion. And in that, I lost myself. But it was when I hit that rock bottom 13 years ago, July 22nd. We're close. Couple more days for 13 years of sobriety. 13 years. And it was the biggest party animal. From about 15 years on till I hit my rock bottom, 33 years old, I was the biggest party animal. I didn't need any reason to drink. If I was somewhere, it was time to drink. Anywhere. Didn't matter the day of the week. I didn't care if it was morning drinking, daytime drinking, afternoon drinking, all night drinking, vacation drinking, drinking over here, drinking over there, drinking everywhere. This guy didn't have any limits. I didn't have any boundaries for drinking. Any time was a good time to do it. And I got some funny memories of that shit. But just because they were funny memories, that doesn't mean it was fun looking back. It's painful. Painful looking back, thinking how weak I was mentally and emotionally because of the power that I had given to alcohol to numb my pain, to get me through a day, to get me through an experience. And I masked, right? We call it masquerading. I masqueraded around, acting as if, man, I'm just having a good time. I love partying, man. It's the best. Partying's so fun. I used to think it was, but there's a dark side to it too, right? There's some unfun things about it. There's a lot of health issues that are directly related to all the fun. There's a lot of legal issues for me, maybe for you, that were related to just always needing to have fun. There was a lot of lost wealth, lost time, lost valued experiences, because it was like, no, we need to go get drunk better than experiencing incredible places around the world, right? It was like, let's go get fucked up instead. Like, why do we want to go and tour ancient sites and exotic places? Why we don't got time to go do that. Let's go get fucked up. So regrettable. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are just like downplaying how bad your problem is because, we say, oh, I'm having fun, but are you really having fun? I guarantee you I've had the most fun in the past 13 years of sobriety. I would put my fun up against anybody else's fun out there. especially someone that thinks getting drunk or high is somehow a measure of fun. I would put my life experiences over the past 13 years completely sober, the most incredible experiences. And you know what's one of the most beautiful experiences that I've had in the past 13 years? This will probably surprise some of you. It's sex. Do you know how powerful sex is sober? I heard a story about a guy, he's like 40 something, about 43 years old, and he's never had sober sex. And it's like, man, that's sad. That's sad. That the only way that you can have something so intimate, so pleasurable is by being all fucked up. Right? Because you don't trust yourself, because you can't fully be present. And that's what makes sober sex so good, is like you're present with this person. But see, a lot of you couldn't have sober sex because, I don't know, you tell me, comment down below why. Right? But some of the most incredible experiences. And I think that happens because you really start to honor yourself. You start to take care of yourself. So, life starts to open up and it starts to bloom and blossom. Like the trees are greener, the flowers are more fragrant, more vibrant. The animals seem more peaceful and more friendly, right? Rivers feel more clean and clear. The air, the sky, everything seems to be more vivid and enhanced when you're living in a sober state of being. And yet, I'm someone that even at a younger age, I did a lot of hallucinogenics. And I saw a lot of trippy things. But nothing's more beautiful than like being in like the most incredible like basin of like the huge mountain range, and like just all these different parts of the country and the world, and you're just like fully present, fully connected. No distortion, no chemical distortions. Just to be fully present. Nothing compares to that. And I know because, again, I was the guy that said, I don't want to go and do that. I don't want to go do that. It's like, because why? I would rather go get fucked up. That's all I wanted to do. And all the people I hung out with, that's all they wanted to do too. And yeah, we did things, but it was never the same. Right? It was never the same doing things when you're like just wasted, buzzed, and high. You're just like, it's like you're experiencing things. You think it's the best time of your life, but there's a dark side to it that's not so fun. And yet, 13 years ago, I hit rock bottom. 13 years ago, I had to say, you know what? I can't do this no more. I can't be this guy. This guy has to die. Not physically, but metaphorically. This version of me, this ain't it. And I'm grateful that I found the courage to do that. And it took a very painful hit. It took a very painful rock bottom moment to get myself to a place where I was like, I'm done. Enough's enough. I can't do this no more. And then I had to have a willingness to deal with my pain in new ways, right? Because I believe Gabor Mate, where I agree with him, believe what he says. If you don't know Gabor Mate, you should look him up. But he is probably the first person I've ever heard to proclaim that all addiction, and there's a lot of denial about addiction, but that all addictions, and an addiction is truly defined as, it's a relationship with something that you can no longer do life without on a regular basis. Right? You just can't do it. You're completely you need it. And I used to tell myself this. I'm like, I think I'm a better version of myself. A little buzzed and a little high. I think I'm better. Yeah, I think this is definitely a better look. And it's like, that's lies. That's total fucking lies. I know that was never a better version. And even when I relapsed, right, 15 years, I've been 13 years sober from alcohol. I was 9 years sober from THC because I gave up both of those at the same time. And I relapsed in 2020. And I basically went up in smoke for, let's just call it 2 years. And in 2022, I gave THC up. So December 1st, 2022, 23, 24, 25. So we're coming up on 3 years with a 2-year gap for that. But the measure for me has always been simple. The measure has always been simple. Whether I do something or don't do something does it make me a better version of me? And there's been times, right? There's been times that I used some THC and I'm like, oh, I feel way creative. I feel like, man, I'm like, wow, because I have like a lot of creative skills and art skills inside of me, right? And so I'm like, man, I think I'm way more creative here. But it's like, no, I think that was just something I wanted to tell myself. And I even had a prescription. I had like one of the earliest prescriptions for THC, like back in California in like the early 2000s, right? Like a medical prescription. And so I justified it even harder then. Well, man, this is my medicine, right? It's my medicine, right? For some people, it is. I mean, it is a sacred plant. I do see marijuana as a sacred plant, but I don't think it. I think that it gets abused. I think that most people, you're just numbing out. I think that there's a lot of powerful interest that would prefer as many people as possible to be numbed the fuck out and high as fuck, especially with the shit that's out there nowadays. Because when you're like that, you're weak. It's easy to put you down on your knees. It's easy to control you, right? That's what all this is really about. How easily controllable are you? How easily can they manipulate you in your mind? And the more that you're altering your mind, the more easily manipulated you are. Because you manipulate yourself. So if you're willing to do that yourself, it's easy to be manipulated at even higher levels with a lot of mass information. And so I've learned along this 13-year journey that one of the biggest, most powerful things that I could learn how to do was to not use escapes and to sit and turn inwards towards my pain, my emotional pain, to turn in towards it and sit in it, to sit in it. And it's painful, right? Emotional pain is weird, man. It messes with you. I mean, you're sitting there and you're like, man, I'm hurting and I'm anxious and I'm scared and I'm fucking frustrated and I'm angry and I'm mad and I'm overwhelmed. And it's just like, I need something like, let me go get high. Let me get drunk. Let me go jerk off. Let me go do this. Let me go do all these things, man. We just want all these things to make it better real fast. And none of it makes it better real fast. Right? None of it makes it better. And if you're honest with yourself, your life, it actually gets worse every time. Because again, your life is either going up spiral or you're going down spiral. And usually, if you're somebody that can't sit in the fires of your life, the experiences that you signed up for, that's the wild thing that a lot of people struggle with, is realizing that your soul, you signed up for everything you've experienced. That's why the whole idea of like free will is not a thing. It's about choice. You get choice, but you made a choice before you incarnated into this life. You made a choice to have very specific experiences that would help your soul to evolve to a higher dimension. Not just stay plain, not just need a savior to bail you out of all your fucking shit, but you signed up to have these experiences so you could sit in the pain, transmute the pain into your purpose, into your power, so you can contribute to the evolution of our species on this planet. But yet so many people, you just think you're here for fucking Netflix and chill. Summer concert series, that's what I'm here for, man. Barbecues and brewskis, that's what we're here for. What are you talking about? Mindless hours of scrolling, that's what I'm here for. Really? You don't think there's something greater that you're here for? Something that if you were to shut down all these distractions and go deep, deep, deep within, when you start like sitting in your pain and really understanding yourself from a new perspective, that something comes out of that, because I've experienced it. There's rarely a week. I'm not going to say it's ever an everyday thing. That would be a little bit of an exaggeration. But there's rarely a week that goes by that I don't run into someone from my past that doesn't recognize me. They're like, whoa, that's you? It's not just because my hair's long. It's not just because I'm in fucking great shape, right? It's because my energy is different. I'm no longer this wounded man that I once was, carrying around wounded energy, victimized energy, guilt and shame energy, right? Not giving myself permission to be free, to let go, and to be my true and authentic self. And so when people come across me, they're like, what? That's you? Wait, is that you for real? I'm like, yes, me for real. They freak out. They can't believe it. And that makes me feel good, because what does that say? Total transformation. That's what transformation is about. Maybe that's why a lot of you are scared to take that leap, to really start like doing the work, because maybe you're still living in the past. Maybe you're a little sad about the fact that you don't want to actually, you don't think it could be better in the future. You feel like your time is gone. You feel like you missed your shot. I'm telling you, if you're hearing this message, you haven't missed the shot. The shot is right there. It's clear. It's clear as day. Your shot is right in fucking front of your face. Go stand in the mirror. There's your shot. That person right there, there's an inner child in that body of yours. There's the spirit of the child that you once were inside of you still. Your shot is to show up and be the most incredible super dad, super mom that you could possibly be for that inner child. To reparent yourself. If your inner child felt unsafe in this world, if your inner child was scared, if your inner child was picked on, if your inner child was abused in any way, shape, or form, it's your job to become the super parent that would protect that child at any cost. And not just physically protect, emotionally protect. Which means you need to nourish the inner child by connecting with that inner child and saying, you know what, it's safe. I'm here. I'm healing. It's been a tough ride. Like having these real conversations with yourself, it's been a tough ride. It's been a tough life. But guess what? We're getting better now. We're going to get better. We're going to heal. We're going to get sober. We're going to do the work to release the pain, to forgive, to let go, and start stepping into the future more genuine, more honest, more focused, more intentional. Intentional. That's the biggest flex, is when you start living life with a greater level of intention, where you start to realize that you have a lot more power than you think. You have a lot more control over your life than you think. But there's a wounded version of yourself that's like, no, you don't. You don't have nothing. It's too late. You're not good enough. You deserve bad things to happen. It's like, no, you don't. If you're someone that's always guilt-ridden, like, you've screwed up so much that only bad things should happen to you, that's not true. It just takes you starting to care for yourself more. And that doesn't mean that also means you got to take some accountability for the past mistakes. And you may not be able to right that mistake personally with someone else that maybe you feel bad about. Maybe you don't even feel bad. Maybe you're totally oblivious, thinking like, fuck it. I buried that shit, man. Fuck it. Like, if you've done people wrong, and we all have, and people have done you wrong, which has also happened. See, that's the dynamic that most people, you're so caught up in that people have done you wrong that you need to realize you've done people wrong. It's a perfect balance. Everything that you think someone's done you wrong to, you've done people wrong to. There's a balance. There's a balance to it. And it's like, once that clicks, then you can be like, oh, okay, wait, I can let this stuff go. And not just bury it, not just sweep it under the rug, but really face it, take accountability for it. It's a big part of the process here, especially if you're someone that's been either working on the 1% Better Everyday Journal, or you're thinking about it. Like, this is what this is about, is really doing these life reviews, doing the reflectionary work, to take ownership of your life and to say, you know what? I have enough courage to just take the ownership. Because when you take ownership of your life and all the things that have happened, even if it involved other people, when you take ownership 100%, then guess what? You're empowered to be 100% responsible for the solutions, for the healing, for the growth. You're 100% capable now of just literally letting it go, but in a very methodical way that I teach people on how to truly do the forgiveness rituals, to really just let things go gracefully, peacefully, lovingly, versus just sort of like, whatever, man, I'm over it. Shit happened a long time ago. It's no big deal. And it's like, it bothers you. It still bothers you. If you have an attitude like that, that means this shit still bothers you. And it shouldn't control your life. But yet so many of us, you act like, this shit happened a long time ago. That I don't even give a fuck. It's like, you don't need to give a fuck. But if you did, you would be able to deal with it, and it would stop impacting your life in a negative way that you don't even realize. Some of y'all don't even realize. You're so oblivious to the fact that the things of the past are still showing up in your present because you haven't dealt with them. You've become this master avoider of your problems. You just think you can just keep writing everything off into oblivion, and just at some point the game ends, and then you'll deal with it then. Well, good. You can wait till then. I'm just here to tell you there is a different way. You can deal with it now. You can deal with it right now, so that whatever you got left in the tank, you can fucking live an incredible life. You can write an incredible story. But you got to clear all this blockage. You got to clear all these bags out. You got to empty out all these bags and all this baggage that you're carrying out. And the way you empty it isn't just by burning it and throwing it away or saying these 3 magic words and somehow it's gone. It doesn't disappear. The way that you deal with the past is you got to do an inventory. I've been doing that recently. I cleared out a storage that had many layers, many chapters of my life in there. And I got rid of like the bulky things, the furniture things, the big things. I just gave so much stuff away to like a Habitat for Humanity. And there was like a bunch of stuff that was more like documents, paperworks from just years and years and years. So I was more hesitant to just throw that out. So one of the processes that I've been having to do of recent is I'm having to go like one box at a time. And I have a shredder, and it's like I'm going through like a fine-tooth comb. I'm going through everything, having to like really assess, like, is this an important document or is this not? But it's bulky and it's filled in boxes, and those boxes have just been collecting dust. And my way of going through and dealing with this stuff isn't to just throw it out, knowing I don't know what the fuck's on there. And if someone finds it, like, I don't want that being out there. So I'm going through these things and shredding little by little, one page at a time, one thing at a time. And it's just been a more methodical process. Well, that's the same way as healing from your past wounds. Is it does take a methodical process. Anybody that's subscribed to a religion that says, hey, just say these words and you're totally good to go. And then you're walking around life. I mean, I'm just speaking from my experiences. I said the words, I said the prayers, I said the this, I said the that. I went in, I got, dunked in the water, and it's like, that was all good. It felt great. I felt renewed. But my life didn't really improve. Like I was still me. I was still dealing with the confrontational side of me and the frustrated side of me and the unhappy side of me and the shadow side of me, right? The hidden things that I was very ashamed of. I was like, it was like, that would almost make me feel guiltier because I was like, man, I got all this stuff. It's like hidden about me. And now that I'm over here in this, I'm in the light. I'm in the light. I can't what do I do with all the stuff that's in the dark? The part of me that's in the dark, how come it's not gone? No one's perfect, brother. It's not about being perfect. It's about being precise, having precision focus to say, you know what, I'm going to have the courage and strength to deal with my past in a very loving, kind, unjudgmental, non-judgmental way, to really just sort through, man. It's the life review is a scary thing, but it really, it's beautiful when it's done with support and help. And that's what I offer here at Results Kill Excuses, whether it's the Breath of Life Healing Circle, whether that's in the 1% Better Everyday Journals, whether that's through one-on-one coaching, and even just in these messages in the comments in the community of people that are engaged. It's an opportunity for us to have community. I read something today, and it was talking about loneliness is killing people. And I saw something years ago that said, I think it's 70% of people feel lonely, even in relationships. Let's see what it says. This says that 61% of adults sometimes or always feel lonely, with 73% of Gen Z. So the younger gens feel really lonely. That's wild. So here's the stat that I came across. 100 people every hour are dying of loneliness. And it comes out to almost over 800,000 people a year are dying right now of loneliness. Are you lonely? And if you are, there's a reason why this message is going out there, is because it's an opportunity for you to be a part of something, to not be so lonely, to actually start connecting. And it's like, as you connect here, it's digital, but definitely when we connect in the breath of life, the healing circle, that's definitely, it may be remote, but it feels different. I can just tell you it feels different. There's something different about it. We've all been like in the Zoom meetings and they're kind of boring and weird and shit. This shit's different. There's a true containment and there's true connection there. And my goal is coming 2026 to probably have some live events, to really allow myself to be available to really connect with people live and in person. But in order to do that, guess what? Those of you that are tuned in, those of you that do appreciate these messages, is to start participating, to start commenting, to start sharing the message, to start taking those leaps of faith, signing up for the Breath of Life, getting yourself a 1% Better Everyday Journal, starting at volume 1, then going to volume 2, 3, 4. That's a whole year worth of really incredible supportive work. It's an opportunity for you to really just hold yourself accountable. It's good to see you, my brother. And yet it's such a tragedy how many people feel alone, but are afraid to do something about it. Now is the time to do something about it. If you're hearing this message, my heart goes out to you. I know what it is to be extremely lonely. I feel like I've been lonely most of my life. And that's just the hand I got dealt. I didn't have any close siblings. Everyone was 10 years or more apart. So the siblings I did have, major age gaps. I always had friends, but even then, it's like friends only go so far, man. People that get so caught up on the friends, it's good to have, but it only goes so far. And the true essence is what's helped me to overcome my loneliness is to cultivate the most incredible relationship with myself. Instead of sitting there longing, saying, I'm no good because no one else is reaching out. No one cares about me. No one's thinking about me. No one's with me. No one's right here. It's like, I know that I needed to sit in those seasons of singularity and isolation in order for me to truly see my true and authentic self. And as I do that, guess what? Like more and more people start showing up in my life. But when I was walking around with these all the time, the people that were showing up in my life were more drawn towards the mask than my heart, than my true self. They didn't see me for my true self. That's why when people encounter me now, they don't recognize me. They're like, wait, you're that guy? Yeah, I'm that guy. No way. What? Your voice sounds the same, but you look so different. And it's because they identified me based off of a mask that I used to wear in all these different settings. That's why I'm unrecognizable to so many people. It's not just physical transformation. It's not just the length of my hair. It's the fact that I was literally being something that I felt necessary, but that was not true to my core self. And I've had to totally let go of that. And that's taken a lot of courage. It's taken a lot of work to get there. to get to this place where it's main character energy, player one energy. I've been talking to my son about this, been talking to the youth about this. It's like every person on this planet, you're meant to be player one, not an NPC, right? It's whatever you got going on in your life, you should be main character energy. And when you're main character energy, when you're player one, it's like you want to be the best version of yourself. And yeah, that might intimidate a lot of people, but the heart is not intimidation. The heart is being authentic to yourself. The reason why people are intimidated is because there's a part of them that is afraid to step out and do the same. So then what do they have? Envy, hatred, anger. Towards what? Towards you for being your true and authentic self. And I'm here to just relay a message to you that if you've never gone all in on you, there's no better time than now. There's so much chaos in this world. You're either so overwhelmed and distracted by all the chaos, or if you could just snap out of that shit for a minute and grab a hold of what kind of medicine I'm serving up here, right now. And for you to be able to say, you know what, it's time for me to disconnect from all this shit, go within, and really do this life review work, figure myself out, understand what I've been through, understand how it's still impacting my life today. Just because I'm not that little kid no more, that spirit of that little kid is inside of me and it's still showing up in my life. And until I choose to deal with it, it's going to continue to create issues in my life. You can't outrun it. You can't outhide it. You can't avoid it. Because it still shows up. Even when you're trying to do all that to the best of your ability, it still shows up. You may not have the conscientiousness to be able to acknowledge that, oh, this is a pattern that I've had since I was a little kid. No, you're caught up in the emotions of the moment. That's good, bro. That's good, dog soldier. Yeah, it's having faith in oneself. It's important, right? It's very important. A lot of people cannot just sit in the fire. Right. To just sit in the emotional fire of who you are, to just sit in that. We're so scared. Oh man, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so afraid. I'm so this. We don't even know the words for how we're feeling, but we just know we can't feel the way we feel. And so we get so impulsively desperate that we create these band-aids, whether it's running to alcohol, running to drink, running to people, running to shopping, running to social media, running to food, running to porn, anything to just give you some relief. Anything. All we want is relief. When the funniest thing is if you just sit in the fire, if you can just handle that heat, handle that uncomfortable feeling that is you, all it wants to do is be acknowledged. That's like so scary. Just acknowledge that you've been wounded, acknowledge what happened, acknowledge that it's a part of you, and just sit there, give it a name, right? It's part of the 1% Better Everyday Journal, Volume 1. You're going to learn about the emotional wheel and how to really improve your emotional literacy. And when you can start naming how you're really feeling, that alone shifts your mind, your brain, from like a fight or flight mindset into a calming, because you now aren't running from the feeling. as if it's like an enemy within. You can sit in there and you make peace with it. That's what you do. This is everything I'm saying right now is a lot of gold. If you made it this far in the video, like what I'm saying right now is gold. For you to be able to sit in there, to sit and make peace with your pain. Then it literally subsides. And there's tools for you to do this. There's breath work, which I'm inviting you to be a part of. The Breath of Life Healing Circle gets you out of your head into your body so you can really just start to just be present with yourself. Learn to be present. Learn to be still. Not always needing all this stimulation and, all the stuff, all the news cycles and the sports and the highlights and everything, man. Boom, 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 boom. The social media, constant, 5 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds of attention spans. Just to sit, just to be present. If you could do that, that's like the biggest superpower in 2025 going into 2026. To just sit and be present, which is really the greatest freedom. If you can handle the fire that's within you, it's within you. I used to always call it the lava. I don't understand. I used to tell my therapist, she would say, describe how you're feeling. I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like there's lava just underneath the surface. And when it erupts, I feel like I don't even know what's happening. Like I'm seeing things happen. I'm hearing things happen. I'm watching things happen, but I don't know who the fuck's in control. That was my way of describing it. Being emotionally activated. Some people like to call it triggered. Or back in the day, we'd say, you're pushing my buttons, which is really just being a negative emotional activation. And yet, if you could just name what the emotion is, what are you feeling? When you can name the emotion, you disarm the trigger. You unload the gun. You don't have to worry about it firing. You can pull the triggers many times. It's like click, 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 click. And it's like, oh, it feels so good. Fuck. All I had to do is say, I'm angry. I'm mad. I'm overwhelmed. I'm scared. I'm burdened. Once you expand your emotional vocabulary, you just have to name, okay, what am I feeling? You like, where is it coming up? Is it in my chest, in my gut? Is it in my hips? Is it in my shoulders? Is it in my mind? Is it in my groin? Is it in my feet? Like you just figure out where is it. You kind of sit there and you give it like, it's called like a little flavor feeling, a feeling flavor. You're like, yeah, this is nervous. Ooh, I'm feeling nervous right now. Okay, why are we feeling nervous? Oh, well, these 5 things are happening right now in your life. You have a conversation with yourself. Okay, well, those are pretty challenging things. I think it's kind of justified that we feel nervous. And then so you sit there in the present and say, okay, let's be nervous. And then you just let the nervous come to the surface. And it does its thing and it's uncomfortable. It's like the fire, right? It's a little uncomfortable. You just sit there in it. You feel nervous. Do some breathing. You just sit there with it. Okay, I'm just being nervous. And then another powerful thing is to get a pen and paper and just write, you kind of start writing about it. Here's how I feel when I'm nervous. My chest starts to tighten up, right? My pulse skyrockets. I start having like circular thoughts of fear and doubt. The worst day, doomsday scenarios popping up in my head. You start figuring yourself out. And then what's next level is once you can deal with the feeling in the now, then you start to try and find the pattern. Is like, man, when did you first feel that? When did you first feel the way you just described? When did you first feel that? That's the life review, because you look for the patterns. Oh shit. I bet you this started when I was 2 years old and this thing happened and I was totally terrified for life and death kind of situation. That makes sense. And when you go back into there, you're now dealing with your inner child and you're now able, as the super dad or mom that wants to face the fires and distinguish them, right? when you go in, that's a great question. Anything you can comment on towards the intensity of the feeling? Sometimes it's mild fire, sometimes it's super intense emotions, thoughts. I mean, so this is actually just kind of coming up to me in like freestyle, man. It's like I'm like the freestyle, like emotional guru guy here. But it's like that's what it feels like. And this is really the thing that I've been sitting in the last 2 weeks, because I've had just this really intense moments and really intentionally saying, I'm gonna turn towards my pain at even deeper levels. I'm gonna turn intentionally, turn in towards my pain, not use no escape routes. Knowing that there was a few covert things that were still showing up, right? I'm not doing drugs, I'm not doing alcohol, but there's a few other things, right? Using sex to numb the pain, using food to numb the pain, and then having that conversation with myself. Okay, I'm going to let my sexual self side of myself, I'm going to let that off the hook. It's no longer responsible for numbing my pain. It has a greater use. And food doesn't need to be used for numbing pain. It has a greater purpose. So then that means that there's only one option left, and that's to sit in the fire. And the fires do vary. Most importantly is naming the fire. The intensity, it's something you're going to have to adapt with. But when you can name the fire by looking at and really understanding the emotional wheel, which is in the 1% Better Everyday Journal, Volume 1, the whole emotional wheel is there. It's like the step one is to recognize the self-awareness that, wait, okay, my day started off, I was pretty happy, but something happened on my way to work or wherever the hell I was going, and now I'm fucking something's wrong. Something's off in me. I'm anxious, I'm nervous, I'm frustrated, I'm angry, right? And it's like, can you give yourself, this is literally this is a minutes exercise. This takes minutes to do. Not hours, not weeks, not months, not years. In the moment. But that is why sobriety matters so much, because you need to have a clear mind. You need to be more aware. You need to be paying attention to yourself. That's self-awareness. When you start paying attention to your patterns, your daily patterns, your weekly patterns, you start to see those emotional shifts from when you go from highs, which is like, yeah, I feel good, everything's going really great, to then something shifts, something happens. What just happened? Why am I nervous? Why am I anxious? Why do I fucking hate myself right now? What's going on? And for you to sit in that and be like, what is this? Am I overwhelmed? Am I nervous? Am I scared? Right? What is it? Name it. And even if you have to at first, even if you're just kind of like looking at the wheel and making this stuff up, getting as close as what you think you want to label it. What Adam knows that I do at a more advanced level is we don't just name the first level of how we're feeling. We go 2 layers deeper. To go 2 layers deeper. So if somebody's like, I'm feeling nervous, right? And I'm like, okay, sit in that. What does that feel like? Where is it showing up? And then it's like, okay, what's beneath the nervousness? And that challenges people. Like, what do you mean what's beneath the nervousness? I'm feeling nervous. I'm like, no, but go beneath it. There's something deeper. What's deeper than nervousness? And then you have to like sit there. And it's like, what's deeper than that? And it's like, it's just really getting to a more master level of self-awareness, of understanding yourself. And so when you're sitting in those fires, I mean, the more tools you have at your disposal. I mean, if you're just feeling like a little nervous, some butterflies in your stomach because you have an interview, or, you're going to ask somebody out on a date or whatever it is, man. Like you're just feeling just a little nervous, like some butterflies, it's like, does some breath work help with that? Right? Just a little bit of breathing, right? Putting on some kind of like soothing, relaxing 528, right? 963 type frequencies. Do you just need to like spend a moment in the sun, kick off your shoes and socks before you go into whatever you're going into, to just sit in that, be present with yourself, and just understand that it's like the biggest, one of the most important pieces is just giving yourself the permission to feel the way you need to feel. Like that's all your feelings want. Most of us, we cause ourselves so much harm because we just don't want to validate our own feelings. We feel like something's wrong with us to even acknowledge that we're feeling less than our best. And yet we've created all these really negative habits and vices that are very harmful to our overall health and wellness as a means of just escaping ourselves, when that's all that it wants, man. That's all the feelings want. They just want you to just see it. But when you're living you want to deal with it in the present, as I just said before. And ultimately, if you really want to understand the way if you felt overwhelmed today, or you felt angry, like rage, or you felt frightened, or you felt anxious, or you just felt total like hopelessness today, that just sank to the depths of your stomach and you just felt so hopeless, you just felt like giving up. Like, it's not about that moment. Something activated it in the present, but I guarantee you there is a root cause that goes back to your childhood. And that is like the bridge that needs to get crossed. And I guarantee you that if you can do the life review, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to whatever age you are now, of all the significant events that have impacted your life, the major events. And a lot of these, like, it doesn't even have to be an abuse. If you broke your arm once, or had an accident, or got in a car wreck, or just, there's all kinds of different traumatic things that happen to us that have caused these wounds, that have caused us to have these programs of survival. And clearly, as humans, we are like the most pain avoidant fucking creatures on this planet. We just don't want to sit in it. We want to run as fast as we can. Please, please, please get me out of here. It's too hot. The fire's too intense. And I'm just teaching myself and disciplining myself that when I feel the fire, I'm going to just sit in that motherfucker. I'm just sitting in it. And it doesn't matter how intense it is. It may take a little bit longer, but I'm still talking minutes. If you have the time and the space and the capacity to be present with yourself, you can shift any feeling inside of you within a matter of minutes, if you can truly drop into your body and be present and validate yourself. This is called self-soothing. Once you've acknowledged give it a name, the emotion, how you're feeling. Acknowledge that the circumstances that are activating it are legit, that it's okay, it's safe to feel that way. So many of us, we just don't feel safe feeling the way we feel. But for you to sit there and be like, dude, I'm so overwhelmed right now. I want to jump off of whatever. And it's like, don't do that, but just be able to sit there and say, you know what? You're dealing with a lot. And then that's when you start, it's in this moment. It's in this experience. It's in this exact experience that you start to reparent, to redeem yourself to yourself, because you start to build an unpenetratable relationship with yourself. Because guess who's showing up for who now? You are showing up for you. You're no longer violating yourself by saying, I'm going to be a coward. I'm going to run from this fire. I can't sit in this. I can't deal with this shit. Oh man, I can't deal with it. I'm a victim and I need to take care of myself. Oh fuck. And it's like that's some soft ass pussy shit. It's time to deal with the pain. It's just sit in it, man. It's all you got to do is just sit in it, give it a name, acknowledge what it is that activated the feeling. If you have a moment, just write down, describe what's going on in your body so you can have a better understanding for how you're reacting. Because then you're going to be able to plant those seeds of self-awareness that will bear the fruit moving forward, because you are now taking new steps of greater understanding for who you are and how you show up in this world. And that's all it wants. Your emotions just want to be seen and heard and expressed. They need to be, actually, here's the thing. The way you heal is to experience your emotions, not to feel them alone. You sit there and you feel them. You say, oh shit, okay, my chest is tight, my stomach, butterflies, shoulders are tense, neck, throat's feeling closed off, head is throbbing, right? That's feeling it. But then what really allows you to heal is experiencing it. And that's the fire. That's the heat. That's the uncomfortable. And there's a lot of things that help you with that. I get in the cold water. I get in the hot water. I lift weights. Right? There's a lot of things that you can do proactively to put yourself in uncomfortable situations and make those feel comfortable, so that when you sit there, when the emotions get activated, you can feel the feelings. No more fucking the feelings. Feel the feelings and experience them, because it's you. Your body just wants you to acknowledge it, that whatever it needs to feel is valid. You don't need to run from this shit. When you do that, you just make it worse. It doesn't go away. It does not go away. You may numb out from it. You may distract yourself because of something that you're using to get your mind off of the feelings, but they don't go away. They're still there. You just suppressed them in there, and they're going to come out. They're going to find a way out. That pain inside of you will absolutely find a way out, and it will hurt other people, period, until you deal with it. And I'm here to help you to deal with it. That's what this is all about. Results kill excuses was my way of holding myself accountable, saying, man, I was so full of fucking excuses. And the results that I had were not things I was proud of. And I needed to flip that. I needed to have a willingness to make the changes. And here we are, 13 years into the future. 13 years in the future, trying everything and anything I could in order to trust myself. And I've come so far that most people don't even recognize me. They're like, damn, dude, I can't believe that's you. How the fuck? And I know that the way I show up in this world is an inspiration to many people. And I hope you're one of them. And I know that if you see something in me that you desire, you hear something in me that you're like, man, I wish I could talk like that, or I wish I had that attitude, or I wish 13 years, that's impressive. If you see something in me right now, guess what? It's in you. Are you willing to do the work? I'm inviting you to do the work. I'm encouraging you to do the work. I'm not begging you to do the work, but I'm absolutely challenging you. Are you ready to do the work? Because the work's now. It's not someday. That does, go look at the calendar. There's no fucking day that's called someday. It's either today, it's Monday, it's Tuesday, it's Wednesday, it's Thursday, it's Friday, it's Saturday, it's Sunday. But someday ain't on the fucking calendar. So what are you waiting for? It's time to make the shit happen. and it's time to make it happen now. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate everybody that's been tuning in. I'm going to do my best to just keep dialing in. As you can hear, right? I'm not going nowhere. I had to pull back. I'll continue to get more details about just the incredible things, man, right? If you've made it this far in the message, I've absolutely had some of the most incredible supernatural things happen to me in this past week. I've had a loss of my dad that I didn't really know at a very close level, which made it more difficult, but I sat there at his deathbed, visited him in person. We gained peace and closure. I also had a sense of being disowned by some family members for various reasons, which, that stuff, it's like hurtful, but not hurtful because I don't really have a deep relationship with some of these folks. But beyond that, it's like I had a validation that happened, a reunion happened with someone that I care deeply about, someone I love with all my heart. And yet it's like I've had dreams about this thing. I've had like all of these signs coming through, and then it's like, poof, man, fucking miracle how this shit happened. And that excites me. And I know that as all these things are integrating, everything that's transferring, which is really cool. I didn't like one of the biggest blessings of my father's passing is we made peace. But there's something about me that feels like even though he didn't show up for me, even though our time together in this life was so short, I feel like now that he's in the spirit realm, I think he's there with me. I think he's here with me. I think he's got my back, which is kind of cool. It feels I feel that energy, which is something else to talk about for another day. But I love you guys. Thank you so much, everybody that's tuned in tonight. Thank you for all the well wishes. I'm sending you guys all a lot of well wishes. We're doing Breath of Life tomorrow, depending when you listen to this. We're still doing Breath of Life through August and hopefully beyond. We just sign up. Sign up for the Breath of Life. Get yourself a 1% better everyday journal. And if you're really ready to go next level, inquire about some one-on-one coaching. Greg at resultskillexcuses.com. I love you guys. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.